But we begin on the road, in this case on the road to Georgia. The Scripps News political team gassing up the van, now on their way from Washington to Atlanta.
But yeah, we're going to be hitting the road. We want to talk to voters. We're going to hit 3 major cities and locations along this trip.
Beautiful.
Do it. Oh, and it's official. It's now.
Look at that.
Okay, get the detour, but Norfolk is where we wanted to come to speak to voters, find out how they're going to be voting this election cycle and how they're going to be watching the debate, because those independent voters are going to be so key to come November who takes that Oval Office.
I don't see no hope in either man.
The last 4 years has not been great.
Truthfully, I don't like either side.
What's the most important issue facing you here in 2024?
High cost of groceries, all kinds of inflation.
It just feels so negative.
That most of the voters we spoke to all kind of agree that they don't like either candidate.
This area of the state is really interesting because it has these sort of bellwether areas that have gone from Trump to Biden to back to Trump, and they have a pretty good history of predicting who ultimately wins in November.
The Scripps News road trip to the debate rolls into North Carolina Tuesday. Our stop for lunch, the Neighborhood Cafe in Huntersville.
It's the erosion of women's rights.
That's Trump and I.
Where are we now compared to where we were when he was in office? Figure that out.
The fact that there are men that think that they can decide what I do with my body is asinine.
What specifically scares you?
Trump. Just to be blunt about it.
Now here in North Carolina, we've certainly heard more about the economy and reproductive rights.
We're about 20-minute drive from downtown Charlotte right now. This is an area that's got a lot of attention, specifically from the Biden campaign.
I wish somebody else was going to be on the ticket.
Just don't like anybody?
Not particularly.
My coworkers a bit more.
Jill, I have to point this out. We're going to sidebar politics. This man right here doesn't like the radio on in the car.
It's a controversial take. I typically on road trips don't listen to the radio. So what do you love about Mr. Trump?
What's not to love?
I am supporting Joe Biden reluctantly.
Well, I'm not voting for Trump. I'll tell you that right away.
I'm very undecided right now.
I don't know if I can in good conscience vote for Biden while he's supporting a genocide.
Are you going to watch the debate Thursday?
No.
Why not?
I have much better things to do than to watch, two old people go up there and grandstand for however long it is.
Yes, no one's talking about recovery from COVID. No one's talking about the infrastructure bill. No one's talking about any of those big legislative wins that this White House has been touting, quite honestly, over the past 3 years.
But the real discontent among people from Virginia all the way down to Atlanta, that these are the two folks that they have to vote for.
I think it's really easy to say fake news. It's really easy to hate the media. But then when you meet people who are journalists, I always find people are really warm. They're really receptive. And they want to ask us questions about how we cover elections. So I think part of our duty isn't just to ask them questions and look at their answers, but also answer anything that they may have for journalists in D.C. and what we all need to do to make sure that we're doing our job as fairly as possible. I mean, we strive here at Scripps News to cover both sides and be objective, and there's nothing more objective than hitting places like Chesapeake and Norfolk and Raleigh and Charlotte as we make our way down to you, Del, in Atlanta, Georgia.